So today we are basically going to do introduction, give you an insight into what's ahead of us, and then a blueprint as to how we intend to cover everything that I've got for you and ultimately land you that dream job. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
nothing too technical today, just essentially introductory concepts. All right, so I'm going to give you plenty of room to ask questions. But for now, let me just do, like I said, an overview of what this concept is about. All right, so now we are all here because we want to go into IT, right? And then, of course, the core of when we say IT, the real IT is cloud. IT is not complete these days without cloud, irrespective of what you know. If you are not able to take that into cloud and implement, then it is no longer IT. All right. However, there are so many things you can do in cloud, so many different areas of specialization, even within cloud. All right. So I just wanted to first of all give you this whole picture of what IT is, and then that should help you see yourself, irrespective of what you are doing here, see yourself fitting in the big picture so that you know what position you're occupying and what role you'll be playing in this bit. All right. So that's what I try to do first of all, before I now give you a chance to ask your questions before we go into the course. Okay. So the reason we're in IT, the reason IT is such a big deal these days is because the world in this era called Industry 4. In other words, we had the first industrial revolution, second, fourth, and then third, and then the fourth. So basically, everything now is moving into virtual. So shops are converting from brick and mortar, that is physical, to virtual, and literally every job in what you call the gig economy is converting from the physical to the virtual aspect of it. So this is creating opportunities in terms of people who would set up the virtual environment, people who will run the application in the virtual environment. Of course, by virtual environment, we are basically talking about some server in cloud running application, giving birth to all of the applications you know these days, whether it's Uber, an application, or whether it's Dropbox, Fiverr, and all of the opportunities that are coming up and creating the employment opportunities available out there. So, because the world is changing from a physical world to a virtual world, from people going to offices in physical building to people just logging onto some app and doing their jobs online, even remotely from their bedroom, there is plenty of room, plenty of opportunities in IT. So the reason we are doing IT, and I guess the reason you are coming in, is to see how you can explore some of these opportunities, essentially as an employee to people who have these ideas. And sometimes you also have your own ideas that you want to make this same way without necessarily working for anybody. All right. So when you talk about IT from this perspective, then there are so many areas from networking, which is essentially about how you can connect one computer to another computer, one device, one mobile phone to another mobile phone, so that they all communicate with one another, to the concept of virtualization. Virtualization means that even the servers and the cables and the network infrastructure that you normally go to your office to use, they are no longer in physical form. They are now in virtual forms. They are now like buttons that you can click right on your system and have access, right? So these are different parts, aspects of information technology, of IT, all right? Then we also have the aspect of IT that's about, I'm letting people in now, all right?
Yeah.
So we have the part that is about software development, we have database management, we have support, we have security, and so on and so forth. Now, for people coming into cloud, for our cloud trainees, people trying to become DevOps engineers, we are going to take that and look at that in details. And then there are also people here, a few of you here who want to become clinical data managers. We're also going to look at this in detail. But I don't know if the picture I'm trying to paint now is that IT is really big. It's wider than just cloud, even though cloud is the main thing, and clinical data management and virtualization and software development and networking There are so many aspects of IT. However, like I said earlier on, if you know all of this outside of cloud, it is no longer used, not in the 20th century. I mean, not after 2017, thereabout. So irrespective of what you knew, what somebody like me knew before cloud, because I had been in IT even before cloud, it is useless if I'm not able to take that technology, that skill into cloud to deploy. For the simple reason that everything now is going virtual, and it is cloud that makes this virtualization possible. So if you are not able to help organizations tap into the benefits of being virtual, then what is your IT skill about, right? So this is why anytime we mention IT, the first environment that comes to mind is cloud. And then once you have cloud, you cannot make up your mind, what do you want to do in cloud? All right. So for our own case, we have course, specifically for my case, there is a course called data analytics. What does that do? What does data analytics? Let me see if I can put that in diagram form. Data analytics. Okay, you can see my whiteboard, right? So anytime there is, can you see my whiteboard?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So there is something called big data. So big data means basically for a full an application like Facebook, for example, and so many other similar applications. Everything that you do while on that site, the sites that you browse, the phrases that you Google, that you search for, the pages that you visit, all of this data, they are not thrown away. All of them, one way or the other, find themselves in a database that has everything that everybody does while on that page. So this information, this data of what you do, where you visit, and so on and so forth, forms what you call big data. All right. So this is why through machine learning and through artificial intelligence, Facebook is able to, for example, predict that you are interested in a particular topic or on a particular subject, and then would market that same subject to you that you visited only a couple of hours ago. So the role of data analytics here is to be able to come back to this big data and use this big data, information from this big data, to make decisions about what is our product, what are people interested in, what other course should I form, for example, if it was about training. All right. So the people who will fetch data from this big warehouse. So big data essentially means a warehouse of so much information. So the people who will go in there and extract this information through some code-like language called SQL.